The Cleveland Browns playing the Bears, the Colts and the Seahawks, the Panthers and the Saints. Those are 3 games. Art DiCesare is going to tell us how to bet. You can hear him laughing in the background. That's Tuesday. Muck that up, Art. You gotta keep this going. The Redskins! Art, your laughter when I said that, was so classic.
Classic. Absolutely.
We are not editing this, Joe. This is part of the lore.
Yep.
Part of the lore of the show known as the best betting show ever. Art DiCesare with us, Joe Raineri. I might have a little bit of dementia setting in, or I did that purposely.
Oh.
Who knows? What do you think? Did I do it purposely?
No chance.
No. No way.
Redskins, Giants, Packers, Broncos, Lions, Rams, Raiders, Eagles. Oh my. Art, let's start right there, bro. Redskins and the Giants. This is a game that everyone is interested in. Tell us, how are people betting it?
Well, yeah, you get to this point of the season, right, Prez, where there are games that really don't mean much in the standings, but are going to still have interest with bettors. You know, Giants were a 1.5 point home favorite. They've now ticked up to 2. The real move here, sharp-wise, was over money. 45.5. We're now 47 to the over in that game. A game that we briefly touched on yesterday. Packers at Broncos. We opened Packers 1.5. It's now 2.5. That was sharp money. Total's gone up from 41.5 to 43.5. For us, that was not sharp money. That's just us moving with the market. Little bit of bets here and there on the over, but nothing that it was like, oh, it's sharp. We really got to move. We're just kind of catching up with the market on that number. Lions at Rams. This is an excellent game. And, you know, we opened Rams 4.5. Sharps laid 4.5, and they laid 5.5. We're now 6 on the Rams. I think the Rams are also going to be very popular in the money line parlays and the teasers. Obviously, the total has seen a big jump. Total of 52.5 on an opener. We're now 55 on that game. How high do we get? Is this the top of the market? This is something we always talk about with these games. This is obviously a game that probably should see a lot of points. So no shock that it's one of the highest totals, if not the highest total we've seen on the board all year. And the Raiders, Eagles. Now, before the Monday night game, you know, Eagles were 12.5, 13 on our look ahead. After the Monday night game, they've been downgraded a little bit. We reopened Philly 10.5. Totals dropped from 38.5 to 37.5 off sharp money.
So kind of a unique situation this week, Art, right? I mean, we got a couple of 10-win teams that are getting points. Like, how does that happen here? Are we anticipating, and I'm wondering, are games like this, is there a clear public, you know, pros versus Joes line drawn in the sand where the public's like, how is Denver getting points at home with 10 wins? How are the Patriots? Or is it pretty much everyone in agreement here that Denver, they're waiting for the shoe to drop and it's probably coming?
I think the Denver shoe, as far as the bettors go, they've been waiting. It's almost like the Bears. They were waiting for the Bears for the shoe to drop there. Now, you know, depending on what you got that number at last week, you could have pushed with the Bears because there were plenty of 7s out there. But Denver is in that unique situation, and we talked about this yesterday. Green Bay not only public, but Green Bay very popular with sharps. Denver not popular with the public and not popular with sharps. Right. That's why you've seen that. And, you know, Green Bay and Buffalo, and we'll touch on the Buffalo game later in the week, but that's another one where they're now a favorite. It was basically picked. Now they're -1, -1.5. Buffalo being favored over New England. That I don't want to say New England's not public or not sharp. They're definitely more so on the bettors' minds than Denver. But Buffalo falls into the same category, almost like Green Bay, where the public loves to load up on Buffalo. So it's no shock that those teams are favored the way they are.
You know, Art, to me, and listen, I want to remain inside of this pocket for a sec, talk NFL. I'm not around tomorrow or Friday, Brian Power hosting. I honestly, I mean, here I sit feeling like the KC Chargers line is the most wrong or the wrongest or the line that stands out as the strangest of all. and yet I can't seem to pull the trigger on the Chargers. That's the most shocking line to me.
I don't disagree, but that also goes back to the public still loves Kansas City.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Now, they've shoved Kansas City down our throats for the last 5 years. They're always on prime time. We know all the players. We know the coach. We know everything. And the Chargers are a little boring. Quarterback's hurt. Coach is unlikable. There's like a lot of things about the Chargers where people don't want to bet the Chargers, but they still are like, oh, no, well, if the Chiefs went out, they got a shot. I'm with you, Prez. How could you lay over a field goal right now in a division game? I know it's at home with the Chiefs. I just don't get it.
I mean, sorry, Joe, and I'll ask you this question. How much better is Houston than the Chargers, that Houston can be plus 3.5, 3, go into KC and beat them, and the Chargers can't?
A lot of this, I think, still has to do with the idea that the excuse with the Chiefs will continue as long as there is an excuse or people perceive there be an excuse. In this case, the decimated offensive line. If there is any hope that those guys are coming back this week, and we already know the backups to the backups are hurt on the Chargers offensive line, you're going to get a lot of people are going to look for a reason to be like, oh, that's why they suck. So, yeah, no, they're going to be better now. And I don't know how that's not going to change overnight or in one season either. It feels like as long as Kansas City has Mahomes and Andy Reid and people are going to be like, yeah, no, this is just temporary. They're going to flip. They're doing the same crap with the Eagles, Art. I mean, everyone keeps thinking in week 14 or 15, they're going to flip a switch and the offense is going to be fixed. It's not.
Yeah. Art, let's stay in the NFL real quick. Guys, hit that like button if you don't mind. Subscribe to our channel. Make sure to comment. We got so much show ahead of us. Our parlay of the day. We're going to do fade or not the top teams in each division in the NFL. We got our NFL bests, college basketball, and the rundowns at the end of the show. Art, I'm going to throw some games at you. 89% of the money looks like it's coming in on Houston. 88% on Philadelphia. We got a ton of money on the over in the Baltimore game. A ton of money on the over in the Washington Giants game. You already alluded to that. A ton of money on the under in the Indianapolis-Seattle game. And a whole bunch of people running to the window to bet the San Francisco 49ers. Anything you want to discuss in any of those games? Anything stand out there?
Well, before you do that, Art, I'm glad you brought up the percentages there, Prez, because I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were telling me that I guess through the first 14 weeks, teams that have been getting at least 60% of the tickets are getting their ass handed to them, 37% through 40 weeks.
Wow.
So the teams that are
Trend
the most
alert.
like, I'm just
Trend off.
Trend off, baby.
Trend off.
Trend off. 50 and 84 against the number, Art, through 13 weeks. Anybody getting 60% or more of the tickets, I mean, my goodness, that's just, your guys are cleaning house on those games.
Yeah, it's funny. With those ticket counts, I always want to let people know, you could book a game and you can have, let's just use a round number. You get 100 tickets on a team, but it could be all public tickets.
Right.
You know, you could have 5 tickets on the other side, but they're from your 5 sharpest accounts. So it's sometimes a little, those can be misleading, you know. And Prez, just to touch on one that you hit, that top one, the Houston money we had talked about yesterday, where Arizona's a complete fade now.
Yeah.
And, you know, Houston at 9.5, going to 10, going to 10.5, just going through the roof here. I mean, there's going to be no one's going to run to the window to bet Arizona. So there are some games where it does align, but I think a lot of times you got to remember the respected accounts are going to be minuscule compared to the public accounts. So you could get so many games where the public just lines up on one team, and it's like, wow, look how skewed this is. So, you know, always keep that.
And Art, listen, I just real quick, Baltimore, we got money coming in on the over. That makes sense, but man, people are betting Baltimore, right? Is there going to be a 3 on tap?
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Baltimore's another team that still late in the season. The bettors don't want to quit. The bettors still feel, oh, well, they're going to find their legs. They're going to figure it out. And Baltimore falls under that category as one of those teams, like Joe said, like an Eagles, like a Chiefs, like we discussed. The bettors almost feel like they're getting a discount on these teams. So let's load up on these low numbers, and maybe we're ahead of the move.
By the way, Stroud has, 3 years now he's been in the league? I think he has started 46 or 47 games. Want to take a guess? Is the biggest favorite he's ever been?
-9.5.
That's 8 was his previous high against Tennessee, I think.
Wow.
He last year to be better. He has never, as a starting quarterback in the NFL, laid this kind of number.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that give you pause, Prez? I mean, that offense at Houston is.
So I spoke about this game, Joe, on the NFL presidential address, which, guys, it's up now live at WagerTalk.tv. Check it out. It's about 18 minutes long. I take apart every game. And, I was trying to figure out how do you bet this game. And I kind of made the analogy to the Philadelphia-Las Vegas game because here we've lost Joe, but, the show
You're
goes
still
on.
going now, but that's all right. You guys are good.
Here we have a scenario where two teams, double-digit favorites, neither of them can score. How do you attack a game like that? I came up with the under team total for Arizona and the under team total for Las Vegas. That's sort of how I tackled those two games. I just didn't know how else to look at it. I certainly can't take Arizona. And basically the way I said, okay, can you see a 20-3 game here? Or, a 17-9 game? And all of that sort of gets me to the under. And I would say those scores are, I say what happens in Arizona and Houston, give or take, will happen in Philadelphia, Las Vegas. It's just similar.
Unless it's defensive or special teams ass hard, at which point that's it. But you can't count on that.
Yeah,
There's too much variance. Art, one final one here. I had this conversation this morning. I'm still trying to figure out how anybody has a line on this Seattle Indy game when we're not even sure who the hell the quarterback is going to be for the Colts. It doesn't sound like Riley is going to go in this game. The only other quarterback they have in the organization is Rippon, and now they've signed, of course, 44-year-old grandpa Philip Rivers. Does this, if they announce that Rivers is going against Seattle, does this line go up? Does it go down? What about Rippon?
That's a great question.
What happened? I don't even know how the hell we're at 13.5, and we have no idea who's going to be under center.
Yeah, and I mean, as I talked about yesterday, we opened 11 on the game. But, we've had this conversation before. In the old days, you guys know this, you could keep a game off the board till game day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You could. And nobody would say anything. Nobody would call you out. There was no social media. There was no, you guys are cowards, put a line up. You could do it, and it was respected. It was.
Yep.
It was, hey, you want to wait till Sunday morning to put a line up? That's fine. You can't do that in this age. You have to put up a betting
Which is
line.
crazy.
And
a 44-year-old quarterback. It's like,
I'm with you.
Where does that line go if he is announced as the starter?
It's not about the fact that he's 44, Joe.
He hasn't played in 4 years.
He stunk when he was 39.
I don't get it.
He was really bad.
Yeah. He was. Wow. But to answer your question, Joe, I think the perception of having a guy who's basically been on the couch for 5 years coaching his kids, hasn't played, is 44 years old, he goes in, that line clearly goes up over 14.
It has to, right?
Obviously, it has to. And I don't know, will there be buyback at some point?
Will there be blood?
The bettors will look at it, lowish total. They'll just run and try to play defense. I mean, you might, but the initial move will have to go over.
I got a bet.
Has to.
I got a bet. Philip Rivers over half a yard rushing.
Oh, he could get tackled going forward and get 2 yards though. So that's a rough one there. But I'm going to be fascinated because Rippon, I think the same thing if Rippon gets announced, and this is his 9th team in the NFL in like 5 years. Like, It's going to 4. It's going. So do you grab it now? Do you lay to 13.5 now at Seattle? Because it feels like anybody who they announce, this thing is going to be 14, 15, 16 points.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Like you said, you already missed a good number of, we opened 11.
11.
We were 11 Monday morning, and obviously saw sharp accounts say, hey, this thing's going to balloon because, I mean, even if it was Riley Leonard,
But we didn't even
he's
know
not good
Riley
either.
Leonard was hurt
Yeah.
until we found out about
Yeah.
Rivers. So you made 11 based upon Leonard being the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
God, this is going to be this is either going to be the greatest story in the history of the NFL, or it's going to be the biggest train wreck. I can't wait to see it unfold.
Yeah.
Minus 800 train wreck it is. Art DiCesare joining us from the Westgate. Joe Raineri, I'm Lawrence Pressman. This is the best betting show ever. Stay with us all the way to the end. We got lots more. Our parlay of the day. Did we win it yesterday? I think I won my leg.
No, we did.
To be honest with you, Prez, it was the rare time we all lost.
I did lose my leg. People are like,
It
how
was
do you know?
the rare time.
Well, I don't even remember what I put out. And people are like, how do you not know this, Prez?
Edmonton.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
No, it wasn't.
But I did put out Edmonton as a client play and lost from my client, which
Was
I'd
it a
like to
total?
apologize for.
Was it a total, Prez? What was it? It was.
He had the under in the Stars game.
Gotcha.
Yes, 4-3.
Mhm.
Almost held.
No, it's the rare
Almost
time.
held.
Rare time.
Crazy.
Okay, well, I'm going with the over in the Florida Panthers game. Do I see a 5.5 out there? Yes, of course. At the two books we could always count on. Over 5.5 for me. Florida, Utah. Art.
This team is undefeated in college basketball, and overnight they were a slight dog. Now they're a slight favorite at home. Wisconsin can be tricky, but give me Nebraska at home money line.
Ooh.
Joseph.
A part of me really wants, I don't know why the money is pouring in on the Lakers, now up to 7.5 in spots here. But I mean, all right, I'll bite. I'll take the Lakers on the money line, but every part of me wants to take the points in San Antonio here tonight. But I'll take the Lakers to advance at home on the money line.
Okay. Parlay of the day in the bag. It's time for fade or not fade. We're going to go through the top teams in each division. We're going to start with the New England Patriots. They have Buffalo at home this week. Then they are on the road playing Baltimore, the Jets, and they end at home against Miami. I think they're a fade team. Now, I'm not going to tell you that they're not a good team. I just think that they're overvalued in the market, and I think they will regress. And I'm looking to bet against them this Sunday. Art?
Yeah, I'm with you, President. I think the line is telling. I think a team who's had the type of year they've had, 11-2, obviously a reflection of the schedule. But Buffalo now being a favorite and should be a favorite in the game. I definitely like Buffalo in the game this week. But I think New England moving forward with some of those teams, Baltimore, who I don't think that's, they're a team you can kind of go against. The Jets, I know the Dolphins will play better, but New England will get back on track, but not this week.
Joseph?
They're part of a handful of teams that, you can only play the teams that are on your schedule. I get it. But at some point, and I think it starts with New England this week. I think it starts with Denver. You're going to have to do it against much better competition than what you've been doing it against on a consistent basis. So for now, it's a holding pattern for me because it's been that kind of screwy in the AFC, Prez, where you don't know. I think it's still anybody's game in the AFC, but I think we're going to learn a lot over the next couple of weeks of those great 10-win teams, but have played absolutely nobody.
The Steelers, they're playing Miami at home on Monday night. Then they're on the road playing the Lions, the Browns, and they end hosting the Ravens. I am fading them in all 4 games. Art?
Wow.
You and I align the same way here, Prez, especially on Monday night. They cannot be laying over 3 to a Dolphin team who has played so much better. I know the Dolphins aren't great, but you're going to give me 3.5. I'll take Miami all day in that game.
Joe?
Guys, Tomlin is 22-5 on Monday night. Like every time we try to stick a fork in Tomlin, they end up. It just drives me absolutely crazy here. Not to mention they're 11-1 straight up at home in Pittsburgh, and it will be colder than it was at MetLife for Miami. So we expecting Tua to go into what teens. With some wind and not to mention Achane is still. I don't know if he's going or not. Nobody seems to know if they can't run the ball. They're not winning that game. They're likely not winning. They're not covering either. So Pittsburgh, pick your spots. Namely when, I don't know, especially when everyone wants to stick a fork in Tomlin and to say that the season is over. That's probably when you want to bet them.
Yeah. And that's a fair point, Joe. Let's talk about the Jags. They're a double-digit favorite, minus 12.5, hosting the Jets. Then they're on the road playing the Broncos, the Colts, and they end with the Titans. I think this team might be a bet-on team. I don't think I'm going to get to the window, though, against the New York Jets, but why not? I mean, who the hell? I think Phillip Rivers is starting with the Jets this week.
Richard Todd, I think they signed.
Yeah, Neil O'Donnell, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, Prez, listen, the Jags are one of those, for me, they're just kind of a stay away because, I mean, to lay a number like that this week against the Jets, so inconsistent, who knows? Give them credit, they're right in the playoff mix here, maybe can win the division, but I would stay far away from this Jags team, especially this week. I can't lay almost 2 touchdowns with them.
Joe?
It's funny, Prez. I said the biggest spread for CJ Stroud was 8 prior to this game against Arizona. This will be the biggest spread Trevor Lawrence in his career has ever laid. He has never been a double-digit favorite like he is against the Jets. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think Fabio has laid a lot of spreads, Joe. I'm just laying that out there.
I don't know that he's getting a lot of toothless spreads in Jacksonville. Yeah, he is.
Okay, so let's talk Broncos. Joe, I know you're going to fade them. I'm not. I'll tell you now. I feel like this team is only going to get better. I don't know what it is. They got a great coach. They seem to be able to get it done. And I mean, this Sunday, the Packers are an overrated team. I don't know. I'm interested in Denver. Art?
Yeah, I'm not. They fall into the New England class for me. I got to see them beat a really, really good team. All their games seem to be tight. The fact that I'm getting Green Bay under a field goal, I know it's on the road. You can look at the money line with Green Bay. I like Green Bay in the game. I don't think Denver is a play.
Joseph?
Denver at home, I think, is one thing. Denver on the road continues to be a fade. But I've got to look at the number, Prez, because this was interesting with Bo Nix being a dog here at home. For all his faults, he doesn't get blown out. I believe his 6-point teaser record is like 26-3. It's some unbelievable number where, they may not, but they cover in a big way with him on a 6-point teaser. Might not be the way to look at home with him getting, 1.5 now?
No, there's still 2.5s out there.
There's still 2.5. So
I'm definitely going to be putting them in a teaser as well. And I think, look, I know it's not a long teaser, but doesn't Denver and the Chargers sound like a decent teaser bet to you guys?
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I think Denver getting 8.5 at home, not a bad look.
The Eagles are fascinating here, guys, because I think I've isolated a way to bet them. And I'll tell you that in a sec. They are hosting the Raiders on the road, playing the Commodores. Lionel Richie will be the lead. Then they're in Buffalo, and they end with the Commodores again. I don't think Lionel makes that last one, though. This is a team that does not need to win out. And I think the message that Philadelphia needs to send here is we can throw the ball. I think their team total over interests me. Art?
Oh man, in all those games except for the Buffalo game, they'll be nice size favorites. Obviously, a big favorite this week
Yes.
against the Raiders. Obviously, you can't. For me, I can't lay big numbers with them. I still think there's value on unders in their games because their
Their
offense is
D is
challenged
incredible.
and their D is really good. So,
Yeah.
and they went to overtime this week and the under still hit. So I think there's still some value on their unders.
Joe?
Like running into a brick house, Prez. I don't think. I think that is absolutely. That is absolutely the best way to look at it, Prez. I agree with you 100%. Listen, even if you're gonna win games, forget about cover. You're gonna win games. You got to score points, right? And I think that's how you correlate with Philadelphia. If you think they're going to win some games, they're going over their team total. If you think, then go. It happened again against the Chargers. I think that team total closed 20.5. I had them at 21.5, and they still didn't get there. So, and they lost. I think that correlates.
I feel like this is a team that if they can stretch the field in the next 4 games and show the teams are going to face in the playoffs that they are not one-dimensional, it might open up that running game. And if it does, that defense is good enough to win the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that right now. So this team has to find a way to scare the other defenses. So, yeah, that's sort of how I'm looking at it. Now, the Packers have the Broncos this week, the Bears next week, the Ravens the week after, and they end in Minnesota, and I promise you Minnesota will want to beat them. This is not the easiest schedule out there. I know, Art, you like this Packer team and are looking to bet them moving forward. I'm not. I'm interested in the unders, though. Art?
Yeah, I mean, I like Green Bay. Their quarterback still worries me a little bit, but I like the coach. I like the defense. They can run the ball, so I still like Green Bay in spots.
Joe?
2 bets you always want to make, Prez, and you're a big parlay guy, right, in the NFL? All right, well, here's a trend off for you. Trend off!
Trend off!
That's right. Matt LaFleur, 21-4 straight up in the month of December. Sean McVay, 27-11 straight up in the month of December. Bet these guys on the money line, Prez, in the month of December. Those teams, forget about the spreads. They win games in December when it matters, and they've been doing it for a while now.
Well, we're going to talk about the Rams shortly, but the Bucks and the Panthers, we'll do them together. I won't give you their schedule. I like the Bucks this Thursday. I feel like the New Orleans game was what I call a bottom out game, if you will. I think the Bucks are a bet on team moving forward, and I think Panthers are a fade. Art?
The Bucks got to get their guys back healthy. This has been a theme with them all year. It feels like they deal with a million injuries, but obviously on the short week against a really bad Atlanta team, you have to like Tampa on Thursday Night Football. I mean, that's the only way to look.
Joe?
Who are the Panthers playing this week?
The Panthers are playing a shit team.
At Saints.
Yeah.
Who's the favorite?
Panthers, -2.5, if I recall. Yep, -2.5.
Okay. Trend off. The Panthers.
Trend off!
Yes. The Panthers have not won or covered the spread in the game that they have been favored since September of 2021. 4 years ago. They've lost 11 straight up and against the number as a favorite. This is the longest streak since I think the merger, they said, since 1970. They can't win. They are dead in the water as a favorite. But maybe that changes now.
It's not going to hold true forever, Joe.
That's what I mean. But it's held true for 4 straight years. My goodness.
I mean, with that said, let's take that with a grain of salt. How many times were they favored in the last 4 years?
11.
3?
11.
Oh, 11.
Oh,
and
11.
Yeah.
I mean,
in Quebec, they call that ons. It's my favorite number in French, ons. It just sounds good. Ons.
Ons.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's 11 in French. Okay. Rams and Seahawks. Oh, man. I'm not betting the Rams this week. They're so good though. And the Seahawks, I'll bet them. I think both teams are a bet on team moving forward. I think both teams are awesome. I'm looking to bet on Seattle this week, but not the Rams. Art.
I'm with you, Prez. I think both teams are awesome, but to me, they're the two best teams in the conference. And
I agree.
I can't wait. I can't wait till they play. I know we've talked forever about their future stuff. You know, it's probably too late on both these teams, but maybe now's the time to start looking at future stuff, conference, Super Bowl, all that type of stuff, because the numbers are only going to go down.
Thursday, December 18th, Joe.
Do I not going to say? Or
that's when they play. Yeah, I'm just saying that's when they play.
Oh, okay.
You got to say, Joe. I was just giving you a little color.
Oh, I like the color, Prez. Let me just say this. This Sunday is when the Detroit Lions season ends. I am betting the Rams. I think the Rams absolutely let everybody know and make a statement of who the best team in the NFC is. And sorry, can't keep giving up 30 points a game, Detroit, and expect anybody to take you seriously. I think the Rams destroy them.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Look at the look at the dams. I mean, Art, it's been no man's land from the open. 5. You said 5.5. 6.
Yep.
That's no man's land, and yet it's not going the other way. The public will want Detroit because they think it's too many points, but no.
Yeah. Well, and all the sharp guys laid LA early, so that's why we've moved to that, to that 6. Not that 6 is key, but we're starting to trend to key numbers.
Yep.
Well, right now, over at Odds Logic across all the sports books, it looks like 92% of the tickets on the over, 72% on the money, 66% on the Rams, 90% of the money on the Rams.
All Rams.
So, and yet we've gone from 6 to 5.5. Interesting.
No,
that was a great segment, boys.
No.
We didn't.
It opened as low as 4.5, 5. So
it went up.
Yeah, we've seen nothing but seen nothing but Rams. Yeah, you were 4.5. Yep.
Right now, you can get a 6 at 411 and a 4.5 heavily juiced at Penny, and a 4.5 not heavily juiced. Oh, that was the open. Yeah. Okay, great freaking segment, man. I love Wednesdays. Art, thanks for doing this, man. What's going on over at the Westgate? Anything to promote?
No, not much, Prez. Listen, man, enjoy your trip. Obviously, Joe, myself, and Brian will hold down the fort here the rest of the week. And, obviously, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll be back for the Monday show. Art DiCesare, everyone. Thanks for doing this. Joe, we got lots to talk about. You and I still have to give out our NFL best bet. You got the college basketball best bets, and then the NHL and NBA rundown. Plus, like always, we will end with our mailbag segment. Before we get into any of that, it's time for some business. Joe, I got a big couple of bets in the NFL for this coming weekend. I want to start by telling you I got a 4% NFL parlay. This is my second strongest parlay of the year. I won my first strongest, a 5% last week. Leg 1 of my 3-team moneyline parlay starts on Thursday. I'm sure you guys can guess it. Try guess the other 2. You guys can head over to WagerTalk and buy that play. But most importantly, stop the presses. I have a 5% total for Sunday in the NFL that I am stoked about. My 5% plays have been rolling right now. I just won my 5% NHL play last week. I won my 5% NFL play last week. So head over to WagerTalk and check that out. I'm rolling in the NFL as well on an 8-2 run. So really excited about week 15 in the NFL. As far as today goes, I got 1 NHL, 1 NBA, and 1 college basketball play up. What do you got going, Joe? And let's give out some promos, brother.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'll give out a promo here as we wind down 2025, Prez. And just as a thank you, the fine folks at corporate have come up with a way to give everyone an opportunity for a 1-year pass, all access for $99 a month for me. And it's it, $99 a month for the next 12 months. And we can partner up and get to do this all over again for next December. just visit me at wt.buzz/Joe365. And that's it. You can't get it on the page. That's the only link you can use to get it. $99 a month for 12 months. Get you all access from now until December 10th of next year.
Joe, your promo is incredible. Frankly, if I didn't own the company and have free access to your plays, I would buy it. Guys, I want to give you perspective here. We got 35 handicappers at WagerTalk, all of them legends. Joe Raineri is number 3 in profit on the entire calendar year. He has made, roughly 53% return on your money. That's better than Bitcoin. That's better than any stock that you know of. It's better than gold, and gold is running high. Better than oil. It might not be better than maple syrup. It's better than maple syrup. I don't know if you know this, Joe, but maple syrup, very, very good investment.
Yes.
Joe Raineri, 3rd most profitable handicapper we have at WagerTalk over the last year. Please, guys, that promo does not last long. Joe, you're up in NFL, up units in NFL this year. Let's see about your college of football. Boom, up units in college. Nope, up double-digit units in college football.
Yep.
Let's check out your. Let's look at all basketball combined. How you doing in that, Joe Raineri? Up. So what have we established right now, Joe? You are up units in NFL. You're up units in college football. You're up units in basketball. You're up units in everything combined. What is that promo again?
It's very simple. You can only get it now, not at the page. You just got to go to wt.buzz/Joe365.
There you go, guys. Use that frickin' promo code. Joe, I expect you to get at least 700 customers today with that promo code. Could you imagine? How good would that be?
It's all about the return, Prez. That's all it's about. That's it. Long term is the way to roll.
Yeah. Let's get into some NFL best bets. I got one for you, Joe, and this is likely going to be a client play again. I feel charitable. I know this is as square as it can be, but you know what, Joe? Square plays win too. We're going with the over in the LA Detroit game. And let me bottom line this. There was 74 points scored in the last Detroit game. The one Dallas played, 44-30 Detroit victory. There were 55 points scored in the Green Bay game. That would have pushed. There was 61 points scored when they played the New York Giants. There was 66 points scored when they played Washington. 55 is child's play for this Detroit Lions team. And when you look at the Rams, they just put 44 up on Arizona, 28 on Carolina, 34 on Tampa Bay, 42 on San Fran. This team has gone over 34 4 times in their last 6 games. That is unheard of. And yes, they have a good defense. They're not holding Detroit down. 55, 31, 28, 31, 27, 31, 25, 34, 28. They all go over. Joe, what do you like?
Prez, we talked about this game a little bit earlier, and I'm sorry. I mean, listen, the look-ahead line for the Houston Texans was 6.5. And they go to Arrowhead and come away with a win. You know, I'm still scratching my head about the whole 4th down going for it on their own 31. But nothing that I saw in that game against Kansas City leads me to believe there should be a 3.5 point adjustment from what the look-ahead was with Arizona. So Arizona getting 9.5, and just wait, because it will get to 10. And the fact that CJ Stroud in his career has never laid this kind of number, I'm sorry, that offense doesn't deserve to be a 10-point favorite over anybody, Prez. I'll take the points.
Yeah, I get it. I'm with you, brother. CBB. Joe, before we get into college basketball rundown, let's talk about this Jacksonville State game. They're playing Houston,
Yes.
and before let's leave a gap.
Okay.
We are going to give all of you people 5 seconds to think about what the line in the Houston Jacksonville State game is before we tell you it.
Oof.
Go ahead, Joe.
All right, Prez. Well, you're not joking in this thing because it is ugly. The Jacksonville State Tigers are now, I believe, the latest a 40.5-point underdog to the University of Houston. Now, we are talking about a terrible Jacksonville State team that I believe has already lost 4 games this season by at least 35 points. But listen, this is not the same old Houston, at least defensively here. And most of those games that they lost were against teams that play much faster tempo than what Houston is going to. Usually those games land somewhere in the 76, 77 possession mark. You're not going to get that with Houston here. Now, they are the number 6, I think, defensive ranked, thanks to Ken Palm, efficiency in the country. But the total is 135 and a half, and you're asking them to win in a lower possession game by over 40.5 points. Now, having said that, I'd rather play the total, though. I'd rather play the under 135 and a half, because if they are going to cover this game, I don't think Jacksonville State gets to 50 points. It's a big ask, but I think the value is more on the under in this one. And I'll give you another game coming up here today. Charleston taking on South Florida. I think South Florida is one of these teams this year, guys, that is going to have really, really big home and away splits here. I think they are going to be much better at home than they are going to be on the road. You just saw that with that win over Utah State last week. And this line is right kind of where that line was. I think this isn't the same old Charleston team. They are going through a lot of turnover, and they are playing much slower than they used to here. I definitely think South Florida laying 2 touchdowns, 13 and a half. Back them when they are home, Prez. They are going to be a solid bet all season long.
Joe, let's go. 4 NHL games. 2 minutes to do them all. Rangers on the road playing Chicago. Rangers have been really good on the road of late, Joe. They won 3 of their last 4. This Chicago team coming back from a 4-game road trip. I really like to bet hockey teams coming back from a big road trip. I don't know what it is. And I spoke to Matthew Barnaby about this a lot. And what he was saying is, hey, Prez, we're men. We go out, we go have fun, we drink, we bond, we play video games, we laugh, we enjoy each other, and then we come home and have to deal with estrogen. Who wouldn't be in a bad mood for one day? So that explains that. We're going to take the New York Rangers. Joe, Detroit playing Calgary tonight. 6.5 at some of the books. DraftKings especially always can count on them for a half. I like the under in this game. I know Calgary and Buffalo played 11 goals in their last game, and Calgary finally put up some. This is a team that's going to play to the under all year long. Anytime there's a 6.5, I don't care who they're playing, we're taking the under. I like the over in the Florida-Utah game, Joe. 5.5 at the 2 big boys, 6 everywhere else. Look, it's just one of those spots where I think Utah is going to score, and Florida has been putting up 3 or more lately. And the Kings in Seattle, I like the Kings here, Joe. Minus 140, this is a good bet. Other than that, big card tomorrow. Just take the under in every Toronto Maple Leaf game. I've been riding that for a while.
Is it over
Joe?
for Toronto, Prez? Is that era over, or can they? No. You still think they got a little left in the tank?
I'll tell you something, Joe. Yesterday on WagerTalk today, I was asked if Toronto minus 115 to make the playoffs was a good bet, and I think it is. I actually think that Toronto is better suited for a long playoff run now than they were prior. They're not better suited to winning the league during the regular season. So it's an interesting dynamic, right?
Yeah.
This is a team that's transitioning to a defensive team. And right now they're playing without either of their goaltenders. So, no, I don't. Do I think they're going to win the cup? No, I don't. But I do think at minus 115 to make the playoffs, I think that's an unbelievable bet.
All right. So I was wondering if you're sticking a fork in them, or are we thinking maybe there's still a little something left here in the tank?
What are your thoughts on? And I know you cheer for the Panthers. I mean, they're basically the same situation right now. We're missing our two goalies. You're missing your two stars.
I think experience matters in a long season, and I think ultimately now is not the time to stick a fork in any of those types of teams. I would wait until after the calendar turns and everyone gets a little healthier, and we'll have a better idea of who's what. I think come February.
I agree. Yep. I agree with you. NBA rundown, Joe. What do you got?
All right, Prez. Only 2 more games here tonight. NBA Cup time. It's going to start with the first game. And that's going to be the Phoenix Suns, the feisty Phoenix Suns, who, by the way, we just cashed a ticket with our clients, taking those points against the Minnesota Timberwolves the other night. Good news for the Suns, by the way. They may very well have Devin Booker back for this game. Looks like he's going to be questionable, or at least a game-time decision. That's the good news. The bad news is they're taking on the friggin' OKC Thunder, who to this point have only lost 1 game. That's it. 1 game. In fact, they've won 12 of their last 15 games by 10 points or more here. So I told you last night, usually in these kinds of NBA Cup games, you're going to tend to get a little more defense. This isn't going to be just a regular Tuesday, Wednesday night game. They are going to bring some defense here. I think we're going to play at a little slower pace. Wouldn't shock me if the under hits here. But if Devin Booker goes, I think this one is going to be a little bit closer than maybe the market thinks. I told you earlier with the Spurs and the Lakers, the second game, I don't get the line. 7.5. This was 6.5 at the open. It's been nothing but Laker money all day long. The Lakers won the first meeting between these two teams, 118 to 116. That was a month ago. And of course, Luka had 35, 9, and 13 in that game. There was no, I believe, Austin Reeves or LeBron James in that one. You'll have LeBron here. You'll have Reeves. But again, this feels like a big number to me to lay the 7.5. We talked about in our 3-team parlay of the day, just take the Lakers on a money line if you want to be safe. But I would also tend to think we might be getting points. The NBA's worst 3-point defensive team, that would be the Lakers. The team without Wembanyama hitting threes from all over the place, that would be San Antonio. I think an over might be in play here tonight at the Crypto.com arena.
Joe, our mailbag section of the show, before we get into that real quick, I want to tell you guys again, I am not here Thursday and Friday. Brian Power will be in my seat. I will be back on a Monday. Joe, the Genie Lover writes, what is the early line on Deion Sanders becoming the next Browns head coach? I say it's not going to happen.
No way. Not going to happen. No, not going to happen. I don't think Deion wants anything to do with NFL players. I think Deion loves much better being the king of his own little castle there in Colorado. And quite honestly, I mean, he's got some health issues, Prez. He's had health issues for a while now. I don't know that the stress and aggravation of the NFL is something he wants to deal with. So I wouldn't bank. Anything is possible. It is the Browns, after all, and they do have Deshaun Watson coming back. So I don't know, Prez. It's going to be interesting.
Denzel Bolden writes, because yesterday I said the Titans are a bet on team and the Browns aren't. He laughed at me. He thought that was funny. And then I pointed out that they just played each other in Cleveland and the Titans won.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks for that. Green Bay is favored for a reason. Denver hasn't beaten anyone. That's from the Valley. And yes, Joe agrees.
Yep.
Bill writes, I am a client and was just trolling. Joe, you guys are the greatest. The public service announcement on Monday by the Prez should be sent to the Smithsonian.
Oh, along with the Prez. You should both go.
Yeah, for ancient handicappers. Joe, one of our listeners has told you
Ooh.
that the Miami Heat are on a timeout and you should no longer be betting them. This is from your loan officer, your actual loan officer, Joe.
Well, listen, loan officer, I tend to agree with you. I had the Heat last night, but I did give you guys the under here on the show, so I hope you jumped on that. They were up 15-0 to start that game, Prez, and then Tyler Hero just couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. But I agree with you. For now, the Miami Heat are on the hell no list. Is Edmonton still on that hell no list, Prez?
No, I'm not going to go there, Joe.
Okay.
I'm going to stick to my guns, bro. I'm going to stick to the plan. Listen, the last one I wanted to mention, and this is a perfect way to end the show. JK writes, if you get Debbie to make an appearance, you better have her under the total, Prez. I think he meant under the table.
Close. Yes.
Joe, this is a message to Debbie Head.
Oh, no.
Debbie,
I gotta get off the screen for this guy.
Debbie, I want to know what you think, given that we used you to run a week of humor.
Mm-hmm.
I know you commented yesterday on someone's post, so I know you're listening to our show. I'm very appreciative of you. And all men are appreciative of your last name. And I'm curious what you think about the shtick that we have been running for the last week. And thank you, Debbie Head. Okay,
Yes.
Joe, that's all I got, dude.
Thank you, Debbie. We appreciate you listening.
Yeah, we need new material. Okay. See you on Monday. Joe, Brian, Power, and Art will be back tomorrow. Later, everyone.